The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and more in southwestern Connecticut.
On the campus of Darien High School on a windy spring afternoon, this is the opening game of the 2017 lacrosse season in the state of Connecticut. We get a look at the defending FCIAC and state champion Darien Blue Wave as they host out-of-state rival the Yorktown Huskers, playing in their second game, and you get to see all of it right here on the HAN Network. I'm Frank Granito, standing alongside John Kovach, and Kevin Coleman is down at field level and will join us shortly. But John, let's start with the elements. We're looking at temperatures in the mid-30s. Might feel more like the 20s with the wind chill today. We're seeing gusts up around 25, 30 miles per hour.
I was looking forward to the spring season opener, as I'm sure you were, and it's almost as warm as the inside of a hockey rink right now.
The benefit, John, is that the sun is trying to poke through. We're getting some glimpses of sunlight right now compared to most of the cloud cover we've seen the past few days. And, of course, the showers are all gone, though, as we get closer and closer to the opening face-off. For the Darien Blue Wave, John, really it's the same story, different chapter you got to figure heading into this season.
I know we talked in the preseason, Frank. I wondered how they would be coming off the losses from that great senior class that graduated last June. And you read what Coach Jeff Braymeyer told our Steve Bono of the Darien Times, and Captain Finley Collins saying the whole team's excited. We've got experience at every position. So this might just be a reloading season for the Darien Blue Wave, undefeated last year.
We got to catch up with the Darien captains earlier this week. Jake Beeler, Finley Collins, Ryan Cornell, and Riley Stewart. And Kevin, if there's one thing we are sure of, this is a motivated group, if nothing else, for the Darien Blue Wave.
Good afternoon, John and Frank. This is a very motivated Darien Blue Wave team. Even though they lost a good amount of seniors last year with that phenomenal senior class that they lost, this is a very motivated team, Frank, like you just said. This is a team that believes that they can do it all over again. They can grab that FCIAC title. Not only that, but they can grab that state title again.
They're riding a 31-game win streak, John, entering into today's game a perfect 23-0 the year before this past season. 8 wins to end the season before that. 3 state championships, 3 FCIAC championships, and they've won 3 straight against the Yorktown Huskers. We're going to step aside quickly, John, but when we get back, we'll have the starting lineups for you along with the opening face-off of the 2017 lacrosse season right here on the HAN Network.
Part of banking well is doing good. That's why, with the support of local community partners, Bankwell has launched the Bankwell Pet Adoption Project to boost awareness about the hundreds of animals in local shelters that need a home. And when you donate to the cause using the Bankwell self-service coin machines, we'll match your donation. For details, visit mybankwell.com/pleaseadoptme. Bank smart, bank local, bank well.
Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood delivered daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving one-stop shop for everything you need this season, our personable team is always ready with a helping hand. Shop Stewart's for the best of spring. Find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light. the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Sign up now to learn from the Box Lacrosse pros at In Sports of Trumbull. April 10th through 13th, join Black Wolves captain and 2-time NLL MVP Sean Evans to learn the ins and outs of box lacrosse. Sessions run from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Each camper receives a Black Wolves hat, t-shirt, and a ticket to a game. To register, visit blackwolves.com and click on Camps. In Sports of Trumbull, the game is always on, inside. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Join the HAN Network and Make-A-Wish Connecticut to help make travel wishes come true for local kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Donate your unused airline miles to the HAN Network's Wishes in Flight campaign. Over 70% of wishes granted involve travel, and your unused airline miles can help make kids' dreams become a reality. Plus, once you donate your miles to Make-A-Wish, they never expire. Donate your miles at ct.wish.org/HAN Network and help us change lives, one wish at a time.
Back on the HAN Network at Darien High School, getting ready for the kickoff of the 2017 spring season. The Darien Blue Wave and the Yorktown Huskers about to start up. John, Yorktown coming in. They are 1-0 on the season. Why don't you tell us a little more about that opening game against Somers?
Started out on Monday. They were at Somers, a 14-8 win. Brendan Williams, sophomore midfielder, won 6 faceoffs in the second half. This according to lowhud.com. Meanwhile, Louis Ragusa, junior goalie, 9 saves in the second half. Big second half for them. Was a tight game at the intermission. Kyle Casey finishes with 5 goals and 1 assist. Big day for the senior attack on Monday. And now you see them come back to face the Connecticut defending champ, Yorktown, the New York runner-up.
They've met every year since at least 2011. Darian is 4-2 against the Huskers in that span. They have won the last 3. You mentioned the play in goal for Yorktown by Ragusa. On the other side, in between the pipes, it's going to be Ryan Cornell, and he's arguably not only the best goalie in all of Connecticut, but up there amongst those in the nation.
All-America, a 3-year starter. You're going to have to work to get the ball past him this afternoon. And as we said during the pregame, a lot of experience in a lot of places for this Darien team, despite losing that stellar senior class of 2016.
So for the opening face-off, it will be Tanner Strube and Hunter Embury. Strube for Darien, who's wearing the all-white with blue numbers, and Yorktown in their all-green uniform with the white numbers. They'll move from right to left on your screen as we get ready to start the spring season. And John, another interesting storyline for this Yorktown Huskers team. Not the normal coach we're used to seeing.
Dave Marr, who's their longtime and very successful coach, serving a suspension for the season, from what I've read on lowhud.com, after an outburst during last year's state final.
As the Wave control the opening draw, Stroop did a tremendous job last year in his first season as the face-off man for the Wave, and they expect big things out of him moving forward this season as well. As diving towards the front of the net, and the first shot on goal this season is a goal.
First goal of the season for Darian.
And it comes from number 18, the senior, Matt Mays, and the Wave on top, 1-0. Just 19 seconds in.
He comes in from the offensive's left of the goal mouth and just kind of bounces a shot in off of the turf. Not a lot of velocity to it, just a tricky shot and really a great cut to get as close as he could to the crease without violating the line.
And just like that, no beats missed off last season. The Wave strike first.
That's got to be tough. You come the length of the ride that Yorktown came, and we're 19 seconds in, they're already chasing one.
Especially, too, when you think about the girls just played earlier today. And Darian, of course, the defending FCIAC and state champions on the girls' side as well. They handed one to Yorktown earlier, 20-4, the final in that game.
Darien just becoming synonymous with lacrosse in Fairfield County and really much of the state of Connecticut.
As ducking towards the net that time was McGovern, but he retreats back to Asks as the Wave working around the outside. And it's a great point you make. Really, when you think about the FCIAC, it's gone through waves over the past 3 decades of who has been the perennial power amongst the conference. And there have been 3 schools that have obviously been at the top. For a while, it was Wilton. They were really the original and trendsetter in making lacrosse one of these Power 4 sports.
Under the great Guy Witten for all those years, you knew they were going to be in the final.
And then after that, in the mid-90s, early 2000s, is another shot here, sails wide of the cage. It was New Canaan under Howard Benedict, who had turned their program around and became the creme de la creme amongst the FCIAC. And now we're living in the era of Darien under Coach Jeff Braymeyer.
Right, there was a span when you knew graduation was just weeks away when Wilton and New Canaan played for the FCIAC championship, and then a week later, as there's a shot, the first save by Ragusa.
Big save there, but the Wave able to collect the rebound, and they maintain possession. As now on the left wing is Kevin Lindley. Despite losing some big players, there were role players last year as juniors who all come back. This is a senior-heavy lineup again now, as Jeff Braymeyer and the Blue Wave continue, and it's not even rebuild, it's just retool season after season here.
It's just slide the pieces around.
That's a great look down low. The finish by McGovern. What a pass from the senior Riley Stewart, though. And it's 2-0 with 10:01 to play.
And they're working the up close. They're right on the edge of the crease and scoring these point-blank shots. I think Yorktown's defense has got to start trying to get those guys away from that circle around Ragusa. Give him a little bit of room. Yorktown right now would just settle for possession
once again out there for Darian.
as the first 2 minutes has been all Blue Wave.
The face-off is such an important thing in lacrosse, and if Darien, they've won the first 2, so let's see where this goes. And there, a violation again. Ball's immediately awarded to Darien. If you're going to keep losing face-offs, you're going to keep giving up long possessions.
Second time we have seen an infraction called on Hunter Embury. As the Wave take over again with the senior captain, Finley Collins up top. The last time we saw Collins back in the football season is a pass down low and a little trick shot there. No good, but a crease violation called. So Yorktown with their first possession coming up. Of course, we saw Finley Collins in the state quarterfinals when they played against Greenwich on that rainy night at Boyle Stadium. Before that, he had the interception in the Turkey Bowl this season to end New Canaan's hopes of a comeback.
And we saw that great game he had here against Greenwich last year in that shootout.
So we'll get our first look at the Blue Wave defense this season. Of course, the biggest piece they have to replace in the puzzle, Mark Ivanchek, the former Gatorade Player of the Year, as he's left the defensive corps. It's now Jake Byler who will be leading up this unit. Kevin, we got to catch up with Jake Byler on the tour this past week and might have given us one of the great interviews of all time.
Well, I think you handled it perfectly. I think you said how you handle it well. You said, handle it like Bill Belichick. These guys take this very seriously. You could tell in that interview, Frank, firsthand coming from you, these guys are serious. They want to repeat. This isn't a fluke. They want to come back and prove it that this senior class can really step up.
As a shot attempt there was blocked and never made its way through. Battle for the ground ball, and coming away with that one is the captain, Riley Stewart. And Kevin, you're right. These boys, they want to not only win, but their goal and expectation every season as a shot rings off the post is to not only win both FCIAC and state, but they expect to go undefeated each year. 23-0 is the standard they have set, and they want to accomplish it. And that was the mindset Byler had. He was very frustrated that he was going to be late to practice to have to do that interview on Thursday afternoon.
They were very focused on being able to get back to practice, and that's when you know a team's so motivated like that. When they were nice enough to spend the time to come and do the interview, but they were more focused on being at practice and getting better and better. And you have to love seeing that as a fan's perspective, and obviously us as broadcasters.
That's a culture that's been built here in Darien. That's why they go 24-0. That's why they play in FCIAC and state finals every year. The kids know what to do to win, they expect to win, and they are willing to do what's expected of them to win. They don't expect it to be handed to them. They know they're going to have to work for it, and they're willing to do that. That's why they're successful.
As an errant pass goes over the end line, and the Wave will take over now with 7:33 remaining in the first. A 2-0 Darien lead. The goals coming from Mays and McGovern at the start of this one.
I'm not sure about these long passes in this wind, Frank. It's going to be like trying to control your drive.
It'll definitely play a factor today when the Wave try to stretch the field. One thing that we are certain of with a Jeff Braymeyer coach team, they are going to try and run and transition when given the opportunity. As here's McGovern behind the net, working to his right, little turnaround shot on the wraparound, and he's got his second of the night.
Another point-blank shot, another goal for the Darien Blue Wave. That one sets up from behind, carry it out, stop on a dime, and just tuck it in. They really haven't fired any of these shots into the net. They're just kind of getting to the crease, right to the edge, and they just kind of tuck it in.
That the best individual effort we have seen so far as McGovern picks up his second at the 5-minute mark. The 2 goals set up before that were coming off phenomenal passes that found players on the doorstep. And when given opportunities like that, the Blue Wave will finish 9 times out of 10.
Well, what you probably had there is the defenders come off on the open men, let the guy with the ball run around a little bit, and another face-off win for Darien, and that left him open to carry it right into scoring position.
Strube is a perfect 4 for 4 now on draw controls at the start of this one.
Frank and John, just to quickly add, McGovern donning number 4. If you remember, Jack Niffen wore number 4 last year, and that was a little piece of what Jack Niffen did last year. That last goal was a little glimpse of what he did throughout his career here at Darien.
Ragusa making the save off the Finley Collins shot there, and now resets to control. And you talk about Jack Niffen, who has moved on from the program. We're talking coming off a record-setting season. Big shoes to fill with him and Colin Minikis both gone from that front line for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, but if this early stretch is any indication, they're going to be all right.
This one worked down the left side, and there's Richard Gianasca getting his first touch. Back up top, and it finds Keegan Dollar.
Darien's defense tightly packed in there in front of the net.
We've got a whistle here.
This, I believe, is one of the new rules.
It is. We saw a mouth guard go down. And the official noticed it right in front of him, so he blows it dead, allows the player to recollect the mouth guard. And they'll reset now from the right wing. Loose ball on the floor, and the ground ball controlled that time by the senior transfer, Arden Cohen. We got to see Cohen in the winter, John, and as we described him during the hockey season, one of the most tenacious players on the ice, as a big stop there on Mays by Ragusa.
Cohen right there, he dislodged the ball and then scooped it up, really did everything and shut down that possession of Yorktown.
As we see some pressure here on Ragusa coming from McGovern. As quickly having to work it up again as Yorktown. They have still yet to register a shot now with 4:50 remaining, trailing 3-0. The only attempt was blocked before it could reach the net. Opening day of the 2017 lacrosse season. You're watching the HAN Network's coverage of Darien and Yorktown. The Blue Wave preseason number 2 in the nation when the initial polls came out. They've dropped down to 3 purely because some of the Maryland, Pennsylvania, Long Island schools had already begun their seasons. As a great individual effort there around the cage to get to the front of the net is denied. And Cornell comes away with the ground ball.
Cornell picks up the ground ball, and again, the defense closes the door on a Yorktown possession. That's why they have no shots. They can't get through that defense. Very physical play, by the way, by Darian in the goal mouth.
As Collins' pass missed Mays, and Ragusa able to field that one. Now Yorktown with an opportunity to run in transition, but slowing things down that time is Justin Comerford.
I mean, anytime Yorktown attempts a cut, and they haven't had that many opportunities to do so, the defense just rides it out.
As a shot goes wide that time.
That's the first shot by the Huskers. It comes with 3:44 left in this first quarter.
It was the junior Jamison Embury walking the back line at the X position to maintain possession off the miss. He's guarded by Cohen, had it dropped one time. Is able to recollect.
I'm impressed early on with Cohen's skills with the long stick. He's really done a good job of really picking the ball out of the attack's net.
Jack Joyce stepped up into a Husker that time, and another shot blocked, this time by Cohen. Cornell flees the crease to field that one, and now Byler with it as he plays give and go with Cornell back on their own side of the 20-yard line.
You talked earlier about Jeff Braymeier's teams and the trademark transition offense. If you're going to have big hit, by the way, and a flag there.
Got a flag on
big
the
hit
flag.
on Cornell, and it looks like there's some jawing going on. Got to get Cornell back into crease.
Cohen going to come over and lend a hand as at the other end,
Darian.
Mays is going to finish for his second, and it's 4-0.
I was watching down this end to see if this exploded, because that was a lot of talking back and forth without anything happening, and now they've waved off the flag. They've waved off that high hit on Cornell. It was behind the play with that goal, so no loss of manpower for anybody there.
And Kev, you were right down by the little scrum we saw there. Cornell taking the big shot. And the player we were just talking about, the senior transfer, Arden Cohen, immediately coming over to the goalie's defense.
Yeah, him and Kyle Casey were jawing at a little bit. Nothing too extreme. The flag did come up, though.
So a 4-0 lead with 2:41 remaining in the first, and winning the draw this time for the Huskers was number 37, Brendan Williams, on his first battle with Stroop. So Embury spelled out after losing the first 4, and Williams able to win one for Yorktown.
And immediately tips the field in the Huskers' favor.
Still no shots on goal for Yorktown.
So the point I was making, if the defense can continue to get turnovers in the Darien end, they're going to just feed that transition offense like a monster. And it's going to be very tough to stop. And there again, they force a turnover.
Errant pass that time, unable to be controlled. And quickly off the other way go the Blue Wave. Remember, we saw Darien in the postseason a couple of times, obviously in their semifinal win against Staples in the FCIAC, and then the FCIAC championship against against New Canaan, excuse me. Most notable in that game, the hidden ball trick they were able to pull off against the Rams. That was featured in Lax.com's Plays of the Year. And then we saw them again in the state semifinals when they knocked off the Ridgefield Tigers. Ridgefield, another team to keep an eye on this year, along with Wilton, New Canaan, and a Staples program that continues to be on the rise.
Lacrosse is getting a foothold in Westport, and that's going to be tough for the FCIAC when they do.
As a shot through traffic finds the back of the net. And joining the party this time is Jack Joyce.
Just fires a long shot in. There's just a lot of uncontested opportunities for the Blue Wave right now. You mentioned Ridgefield Lacrosse. A number of them I saw actually here to see this contest.
At the 10:49 mark, it is 5-0 Darien. Joyce's first of the season. The assist to McGovern.
Brendan Williams facing off now for Yorktown against Stroud.
So we'll see if Williams can win another one off of Strube. This time it's the junior midfielder Strube who comes away. He's 4 of 5 now on the afternoon. Correction, 5 of 6 with less than a minute to go in the first quarter from Darien High. Watching the HEN Network's coverage of FCIAC Lacrosse. The Wave hosting out of state the Yorktown Huskers. Another shot here from Strube. Ricochets well over to the left. McGovern and Collins able to win a race that time, so they'll maintain possession with 41 seconds left to play. One of the better spring days we have seen this week is a rip upstairs.
Riley Stewart,
and it's 6-0 now as the captain Riley Stewart joins the party.
It's almost like cat and mouse. Early on, Darian works it inside, works the ball to the edge of the crease. Somebody's waiting there to just tuck it into the goal. Well, now Yorktown's packed in its defense, and Darian's scoring on these 10, 15-yard shots that are just line drives into the Huskers' net.
6-0 with 35 seconds left to play in the first. As the defending FCIAC and state champions rolling early on against the Huskers. Good job by Williams on that draw, but a better play defensively coming from Nick Percarpio to take that one away.
Just took it right off the web.
And with 21 seconds to play, Coach Braymeyer going to take a timeout and draw up a play here before the end of the quarter. We'll take it as well. We'll be right back with more high school lacrosse on the HEN Network.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back on the HEN Network, opening day for the network in the spring season. Getting a look at Darien Lacrosse on their path to a 4th consecutive FCIAC and state championship. And they're off to a good start, John. A 6-0 lead here with 21 seconds to play in the first quarter against out-of-state foe Yorktown.
Any questions about how they would respond to the loss of last year's seniors have quickly been answered, and they're really good answers if you're a fan of the Darien Blue Wave. They are all over this Yorktown team, which is not a slouch, which is a runner-up in their section in New York, and really which looks like they have a ways to go to compete this afternoon.
There are some other games in action today within the FCIAC. Last we saw, Greenwich was trailing St. Anthony's 7-1 at the end of the third quarter. Anthony's has finished off that game with a 9-4 win. As a pass inside, shot down low on the save, Ragusa. Loose ball in front, poked around.
Great save by Ragusa.
They'll say Collins stepped in the crease with 0.5 of a second left as the quarter comes to an end. And a huge save by Ragusa to keep the lead where it is. But a dominating start to the season by the Blue Wave. Darien 6, Yorktown nothing at the end of 1. We'll be right back with more high school lacrosse after this on the HEN Network.
We told Dad he could have his office back if he sold 150 cars last month.
Deal's a deal.
Well, Dad, you did it. You get your office back.
Forget it. I'm having too much fun down here. My new goal, 160 cars. Wow. Folks, If you ever wanted a great price on a new Nissan, now is the time.
Right now, lease a 2017 Altima 2.5S for only $99 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
At Worcester School, we believe summer is a time for kids to be kids. We provide the safe and nurturing environment for them to find activities that match their interests and allow them to create lasting friendships. Summer at Worcester offers 7 weekly sessions at our Danbury campus from Monday, June 26th through Friday, August 11th for pre-K to grade 8. Find out more about our extended hours, new optional lunch program, and a new low price at summer@worcester.org or 203-830-3921. Summer at Worcester, experience the difference.
Back from Darien Stadium on the campus of Darien High School, this is the HAN Network's coverage of boys lacrosse in the FCIAC. As the Darien Blue Wave off to a great start on the 2017 season. They lead Yorktown 6-0 at the end of one. Let's go down to field level with our own Kevin Coleman and see what he saw.
Well, Darian picking up right where they left off, fellas. They look so strong early on. This is a great sign. If you're Coach Braemar, you have to be so thrilled with the start that these Blue Wave have gotten off to. I think McGovern, Riley, Stewart, Finley Collins, these guys are playing really great so far to start the game. You know, we haven't seen much of Yorktown. We need to see them possess the ball a little more in their end. They need to win faceoffs more. So if Yorktown wants to get back into this, it's only 6-0, but still, they need to climb back into this game, at least get a goal to start this second quarter, fellas.
But, Kevin, when they get the ball into the Darien end, they're quickly stripped of it like Nick Focaccia just did again on that last possession. They need to maintain some possession, too.
They need to maintain. I think Arden Cohen is a defender for Darian who so far has really stepped up and has caught my eye, certainly. He's been playing outstanding so far. You know, these long pole defenders are playing wonderful right now, and this is a great sign, again, if you're the Blue Wave, to start off against a Yorktown team that has a lot of D1 commits. And this is a great start and a great confidence booster to start the season for the Blue Wave.
And we talk about the ground ball issues. There's another one that goes Darian's way. And Mays with the hat trick goal just 48 seconds into the second quarter, and is a 7-0 Blue Wave lead. One positive, though, for Yorktown, John, has got to be Brendan Williams has done well since taking over draw duties late in that first quarter, but again, off winning the draw in the second, a loose ground ball can't be controlled, and it leads to a Darien goal at the other end.
They just need to protect the ball more. There's no sense of urgency to protecting the ball right now.
As Strube comes away with this battle, good job by Williams sticking with it, but Finley Collins able to pick up the trash as Darien back on possession. And Kevin, one thing that stood out to me offensively for the Wave as a wraparound attempt misses wide that time, it's the almost the where they're sneaking towards that back door. You feel for Yorktown right now, who's getting caught sleeping, caught ball watching, as the backdoor passes are open on sides of the crease, and that's where a lot of these easy goals have come from.
Yeah, you're seeing Finley Collins right now. Great defensive play by Yorktown. They're just finding ways. They're doing a great job of passing the ball around, possessing, getting good looks on net. You know, this is a Darien team. This is, again, right where they picked off. You know, you mentioned that hidden ball trick. You talked about the chemistry they had last season. Chemistry still looks intact starting the season off here at home.
As Williams takes one the length of the field, was stripped by Byler, but he got the timeout before losing possession with 10:20 to go, as Yorktown is going to try to set something up, trailing by 7. We'll take a timeout as well and be right back after this on the HAN Network.
Want to reach new heights in your fitness and health goals? Find what you're looking for at Elevation Spin, Train, and TRX in Georgetown, Connecticut. Elevation Spin gives you purposeful spinning workouts inspired by the road. We encourage monitoring of heart rate and energy zones. Elevation also offers customized personal training with dedicated professionals passionate about helping you reach your goals. And let us motivate you to reach greater performance and functionality with TRX suspension training, using your own body weight for an incredible dynamic workout. Located at 4 Old Mill Road in Georgetown, call Elevation at 203-544-9503 or visit ElevationSpinTrainTRX.com for more.
Back on the HAN Network, it is opening day for the spring season on the HAN Network. Obviously, a lot of baseball and softball games supposed to be played today, John. Most of those were postponed into next week or later in the season. But lacrosse in action across Connecticut throughout the FCIAC, and we are at Darien High School where the defending FCIAC champion Blue Wave off to a hot start, a 7-0 lead over Yorktown with 10:20 to go in the second quarter, yet to surrender a shot on goal.
Which is just testament to that defense. The middies come back, the defenders hold their lines, and they've just shut off any attempt by Yorktown to get close to the Darien goal, as we've got a delay here.
Let's go down to Kevin, see what he got out of that timeout.
It's Mayers. He's going to be sitting for 1 minute. Illegal stick use.
All right, thank you, Kevin. So the stick check at the first intermission, and we've got an illegal stick that gives Yorktown a man advantage.
It's a non-releasable penalty as well. So an opportunity here is a shot on goal, and the save made by Cornell, his first of the season, and a good one there with the stick. A good look at the cage for Hunter Embury, but a better save made as quickly up to the other end, and being stripped of that one was Nick Percarpio. So still with the man advantage, the Huskers back on possession, and it's an Embury stick again. Sends that one down low to Cavallo. And Cornell just jumping right out of the crease, intercepts the pass behind the net.
Well, like a corner jumping the out route, wasn't it, Frank?
And just read it beautifully, too. And now he's looking to join the rush all the way up to midfield. And he hands off to his right as waiting patiently there was Quinn Fay.
And now what we're going to see is Darian's going to take what Yorktown gives them. And that's how they're being so successful. If Yorktown lets them get close, they're going to get close and score there. If Yorktown packs it in, they're going to take the long shot. They're going to take what's given them. We got a flag out there.
As the Wave are back to even strength as well, Mays has been released from the box.
And they'll soon be up
Flag
on
on
the
the field.
unless they score here.
As McGovern wants to isolate now at the X position. Working to his left and spins back right. Pass out to the right side, and it can't be controlled. They lose possession, but no harm here as it's going to be an offside penalty against the Huskers.
Yeah, it's going to be on Kyle Casey, number 15.
Just a mental mistake that time, but not one that the Huskers could afford at this moment in time. Trailing by 7 with 8:43 to play in the second on a brisk spring afternoon as the spring season gets underway.
Brisk and blustery, Frank.
You can hear the wind whipping around the stadium now as the Wave with their first man advantage. Working around the outside, pass inside, quick shot towards the net, and Minikis denied by Ragusa that time.
Great save by Ragusa there. Might be his best save of the game. Shot was headed for the upper corner. He sticks his goalie stick up and snags it before it can find the net.
Showing some speed this time. Along the left sideline was Brent Maker. Double team coming here and working his way through it was Embury. Good job to maintain possession. As rejoining the play is Casey. Pass on the left side behind the net. Turning around, another save made. That one off the shin of Cornell as he denied Jamison Embury working from behind the cage. Huskers turning up the pressure a little bit here in the second quarter. Still yet to break through on the scoreboard, though. They trail 7-0 with 7:30 to play in the half.
And this really, I think, the first time they've had a chance to set up behind the net and kind of quarterback it from back there.
As they retreat up to the top of the box, just outside the 30-yard line on the football field. Spinning back inside Embury. Now he hands to Casey and quickly along to the left wing.
The man advantage is over.
Slowing it down on that left side now is Dom Ciafoy. Siafi thought about ducking towards the net, but he's blocked off there and has to work now at the X position. Guarded by the senior captain, Riley Stewart. Stewart muscling him off to the outside, tried to pick his pocket, and he took it away, but a flag comes out as a penalty to be issued here against the Wave.
Stewart with the hands up. What did I do? But he's going to take a knee for the cross check.
It won't be Stewart, actually. It's going to be Arden Cohen, so the second man in who came to help.
It's going to be a cross check for 1 minute, Frank and John.
Thanks,
Thank you, Kevin, as it was Cohen coming in to help who gets called for the penalty. So another opportunity for the Huskers with the man advantage. We'll see if they can convert 0 for 1 today with that advantage. This one up top. Siafi with it. Behind the net, Embury to Embury. That was Jamison to Hunter. Here's Cavallo. All the way to the opposite side. It's a very patient Huskers attack right now, trying to get the best look.
Really working that perimeter, trying to draw the Darien defense that extra step to open up a lane, but they haven't been able to do it yet.
As a shot got deflected before getting on cage, and an easy save made by Cornell, his third of the quarter and third of the game. Halfway through the second quarter, Darien up 7-0, and Riley Stewart crosses midfield and will slow things down, waiting for the Cohen penalty to expire. Behind the net is McGovern, continuing to kill clock as he works along the right sideline.
Almost treating this like a penalty kill.
As Cohen's penalty has expired, Mays rejoins the play. We're all even.
That's 2-man advantages that Yorktown's gotten nothing on. You're down this far, this early on. You've got to convert.
As Joyce tried the swing move there all the way around the cage. Pass inside, but it was mishandled. And now a loose ball on the floor. Up into the air and coming away with this one finally for the Blue Wave is James Solberg as the senior gets his first action of the afternoon.
I think that ended up being a ground ball, believe it or not.
McGovern biking back towards the net, so you fancy, huh? Goes behind the back.
McGovern.
Yeah, they just add a little exclamation mark to that.
Just toying with him at this point in time, Kevin.
They really, Frank, like I said, they're taking what Yorktown will give. If Yorktown collapses, they find somebody else open. They're going to adjust to what you do, and they're going to make you pay for whatever decision you make.
And Kevin, that's doing Niffen some justice with that move right there.
Yeah, Jack Niffen. He better be proud of that. McGovern playing so well to start off the season. What a goal. That's definitely going to be talked about later on Nutmeg Sports, maybe as we end season. We talk about our top plays. That could be one of them.
Could be a top play this week on Nutmeg Sports. Of course, no Nutmeg Sports this week, though, Kev. We're back on the Spring Sports Tour for another 5 days. But we do have some more games mixed in this week. 8-0 the score as McGovern picks up his hat trick goal to keep pace with Mays here on opening day of the lacrosse season for 2017.
Is that our earliest play of the season nominee there for Kevin Coleman? I mean, we're not to halftime in game one. Can we get to intermission, Kevin?
Hey, I like to start things off early. What can I say?
You're one of those people that announces they're running for president in December.
Well,
I wouldn't go that far.
As confident as Kevin was that might be a Play of the Year nominee, that's how confident the Darien Blue Wave are on the field right now. They just look the part of a team that could be running the table again.
I think as impressive as the 8 goals are, the defense is twice as impressive.
And it almost gets overshadowed at times, especially you think back to last year. You had such a great defensive unit, such a strong goaltender in Cornell only as a junior. You're led by the All-American Mark Ivanchek. But it gets overshadowed when Colin Minikis and Jack Niffen are both setting single-season records for assists, goals, points, and almost tallying double-digit numbers every single game.
Well, that's it. And the same is true in any sport. I think football as much, if not more so than lacrosse. If you've got this flashy offense that's putting big numbers up, everybody talks about that. And really the margin of victory works both ways. The defense is part of that too, and I think the defense is even more impressive than what we've seen offensively here.
And you talk about football, a great example of that, and all our Darien fans will love to hear this is if you look at New Canaan High School, they're a program for so long that was known for this high talented offense that was going to score 50, 60 points a game. The defense led by defensive coordinator Chris Silvestri almost goes under the radar, not allowing any more than 15 points in a season.
Right, they'll go and give up average 1 touchdown a game, and nobody notices that because they hung 50 on somebody.
And that's something that we expect to see with this Darien lacrosse team this season. So talented at both ends, and they're showing it early on, leading 8-0 with 2:30 to play in the half over Yorktown. Yorktown came in with a record of 1-0. They beat Somers 14-8 in their opening game. The Waves' first game of the season. They're ranked number 3 in the nation entering today. New Canaan also in the top 25. They are ranked number 23 to start the season. They've got a tough challenge coming up in just a couple of weeks. They will play the number 1 school. And that will be at UPenn for that game. Head against Monmouth. As thinking about the shot that time was McGovern, but he pulls back and lets Finley Collins slow it down up top.
You know, I'm watching, and because I coached football, I fall on football analogies a lot, but maybe too much, but it is what it is. But the defensive middies for Darien, it's almost like trying to run a crossing route through linebackers.
As a shot and a score. And there will be no shutout as the Huskers on the board, courtesy of the effort by Stephen Viteri, the senior attackman.
Errant pass by Darien in its own end. It gets scooped up, brought by Yorktown, and Viteri's just waiting there by the crease. And really the kind of goal that Darien built its early lead on, just kind of get it and tuck it in. And Yorktown finally gets on. Almost
that was Steve Viteri,
23 minutes, 22 and a half minutes into this first half.
A correction there, John. New Canaan will be playing the number 1 team in the nation, McDonough, not Monmouth. That game at UPenn in just a couple weeks. They'll open the season, though, to the Rams against Wilton on April 5th. Darien currently sitting 3rd in the polls behind St. Anthony's, who beat Greenwich today 9-4, and McDonough, who's 2-0 on the season. With a minute to play in the half, and the Blue Wave with an 8-1 lead. As Casey goes all the way around the net, guarded tightly by Byler. Heading towards the front of the cage, and Cornell stuffed him at the door.
Strong run by Casey, stronger save by Cornell.
And being de-stick that time was Stewart. Opportunity for the Huskers to prolong the possession. Looking for the shot this time is Embury. Denied, though. Good defense coming from Blake Soming.
Yeah, they just don't let you through that level.
As a shot here sails wide of the cage. It'll stay with the Huskers with 22 to play. Kevin, you can still hear the wind whipping around a little bit. What's the temperature and feel like down at field level?
It's definitely raw down here, guys. The wind is gusting down here. It is chilly, and it's not really playing to a disadvantage for anyone, really. But, you know, this is not too bad down here, as we're going to see a timeout. But, guys, it's not too bad down here.
18 seconds to go. We'll stay through it as the Huskers try to draw up a play, trailing 8-1. Here against Darien. Coming up on our HN Network Spring Tour that we talked about a little bit will be at Wilton and Staples High on Monday, West Hill Tuesday afternoon, New Canaan on Wednesday, and we've got a girls lacrosse game Wednesday at New Canaan. Kevin and I will be with you for that one. Thursday we go to Brian McMahon and Fairfield Ward, and then we've got some softball action for you at Fairfield Ward. And we round things up Friday, Bridgeport Central and Fairfield Ludlow. We've already got 8 schools under our belts, and it was a fun week with the athletes, Sean.
The kids enjoy it. It's great to see the kids come out, get a chance, and every captain of every sport gets to share their thoughts on the season. It's a lot of fun to see the kids react to that.
That's fun. We've been going with some rapid-fire questions for the kids this week, asking them favorite pregame meal. What's the go-to pump-up song? We're actually going to ask Kevin about those when we get back after halftime, so we'll give him some time to think about his rapid-fire responses. As the Huskers getting set now to play out the final 18 seconds coming out of the timeout. Here's Casey controlling. Works off the screen and now dumps it down low towards the front of the net, and it's Emberry who buries that one on the bounce shot.
You know, when you're in a game like this, and unfortunately I've been on the end of a few where you're on the wrong end of this, you try to, okay, that quarter's behind us. Can we outplay them? Can we play them even for this quarter? And right now you've got Yorktown can say, hey, we played them even for the second quarter, as they've both scored 2 here with 8.8 seconds to go.
It was the sophomore Reese Andrews who picks up his first goal of the season. Give the assist to Kyle Casey. It is 8-2 with 8 seconds remaining in the half, as we'll see one final face-off between Williams and Strub. And Kevin, that was a well-designed play out of the timeout. Casey attracts the extra defender, dumps it down low, and a good job by the sophomore finishing through the 5-hole.
The Huskers have been playing really well down these last 2 minutes, taking advantage of some turnovers by the Blue Wave.
As a quick fire inside, the turnaround shot by McGovern sails just wide at the buzzer. How about the patience there, though, to appreciate how long 8 seconds really is?
It's longer than you think, and that's what you try to teach athletes. You have more time than you think.
So it is 8-2 in favor of the Wave. Halftime here from Darien Stadium. Sun shining down to start the season on the defending state and FCIAC champs. We'll step aside and be back with more high school lacrosse for you right after this on the HAN Network.
When it comes to considering the outside of your home, just imagine the possibilities. Whether your dream is a stunning freeform pool or a tranquil, secluded garden, the team of professionals at Stonebridge Associates will make it a reality. We offer unparalleled landscape design and construction, masonry development, pools, spas, and water features, as well as landscape and garden maintenance. No other firm can offer the same level of creativity, quality, and personal attention. Discover the possibilities at stonebridgeassociates.net or call 203-544-8376 today.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
La France de Chartres-Trenet, c'est la France de tous les Français.
Wild Birds Unlimited, your one-stop shop for all your backyard bird hobby needs. Premium bird seed, freshly delivered each week. A great selection of bird feeders, houses, a patented pole system, bird baths, and a vast array of wonderful gifts of whimsy and nature. Visit us at 356 Heights Road in Darien, next to the post office, and across from Norotan Heights Railroad Station. Part of banking well is doing good. That's why, with the support of local community partners, Bankwell has launched the Bankwell Pet Adoption Project to boost awareness about the hundreds of animals in local shelters that need a home. And when you donate to the cause using the Bankwell self-service coin machines, we'll match your donation. For details, visit mybankwell.com/pleaseadoptme. Bank smart, bank local, bank well.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Sign up now to learn from the box lacrosse pros at In Sports of Trumbull. April 10th through 13th, join Black Wolves captain and 2-time NLL MVP Sean Evans to learn the ins and outs of box lacrosse. Sessions run from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Each camper receives a Black Wolves hat, t-shirt, and a ticket to a game. To register, visit blackwolves.com and click on Camps. In Sports of Trumbull, the game is always on, inside. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood delivered daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving one-stop shop for everything you need this season, our personable team is always ready with a helping hand. Shop Stewart's for the best of spring. Find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We told Dad he could have his office back if he sold 150 cars last month.
Deal's a deal.
Well, Dad, you did it. You get your office back.
Forget it. I'm having too much fun down here. My new goal, 160 cars.
Wow.
Folks, if you ever wanted a great price on a new Nissan, now is the time.
Right now, lease a 2017 Altima 2.5S for only $99 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
At Worcester School, we believe summer is a time for kids to be kids. We provide the safe and nurturing environment for them to find activities that match their interests and allow them to create lasting friendships. Summer at Worcester offers 7 weekly sessions at our Danbury campus from Monday, June 26th through Friday, August 11th for pre-K to grade 8. Find out more about our extended hours, new optional lunch program, and a new low price at summer@worcester.org or 203-830-3921. Summer at Worcester, experience the difference. Want to reach new heights in your fitness and health goals? Find what you're looking for at Elevation Spin, Train, and TRX in Georgetown, Connecticut. Elevation Spin gives you purposeful spinning workouts inspired by the road. We encourage monitoring of heart rate and energy zones. Elevation also offers customized personal training with dedicated professionals passionate about helping you reach your goals. And let us motivate you to reach greater performance and functionality with TRX suspension training, using your own body weight for an incredible dynamic workout. Located at 4 Old Mill Road in Georgetown, call Elevation at 203-544-9503 or visit elevationspintraintrx.com for more.
Want a new experience in car buying? Skep Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, skepchryslerjeep.com or skepdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the spring clearance event and Ram Truck Month, now through March 31st. Want a new
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
The new fishing season is fast approaching, so it's time to head over to the dock shop and get your gear in order. We're now offering bait in both Darien and our Westport location. The dock shop can service and repair your rods and reels, spool up new line, and fill any empty space you might have in your tackle box. Whether you're a fisherman, boater, or beach bum, the dock shop is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Join the HAN Network and Make-A-Wish Connecticut to help make travel wishes come true for local kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Donate your unused airline miles to the HAN Network's Wishes in Flight campaign. Over 70% of wishes granted involve travel, and your unused airline miles can help make kids' dreams become a reality. Plus, once you donate your miles to Make-A-Wish, they never expire. Donate your miles at ct.wish.org/HAN Network and help us change lives, one wish at a time.
Back from Darien High School on the HAN Network. Second half of action in the Darien Yorktown boys lacrosse game set to get underway.
Struven Williams to start off the second half.
Blue Wave lead after a dominating first half, John.
Perfect word for it, because really it was just total domination by the Blue Wave, both ends of the field.
As a draw control again goes to the Blue Wave. Tanner Stroop strong on the draws all day long as he has that one taken away. Not to look too far ahead, but obviously one of the marquee games of the spring every season is going to be Darien New Canaan in lacrosse. That will be one of the best matchups on faceoffs all season long with Tanner Strube and Nick Cravato of New Canaan.
Oh, that's going to be great. And when you get a well-contested faceoff, it's one of my favorite parts of the game of lacrosse, to watch them go at it as Yorktown works it in the Darien end for the first in a while. Check with Kevin Coleman. Kevin, your thoughts on the first half?
We'll give
Kevin a minute.
Kevin a second. He's just getting organized down there near the scorer's table. Getting some first half numbers. End of the first half, Yorktown scores the final 2 goals. Both of them coming in the last 2 minutes of play as a shot here sails over the cage. As Cornell now standing to our left. It was the most efficient possessions we had seen from the Huskers all day long. They were crisp with their passing, set up plays, and made the correct extra passes, whereas early on didn't seem in sync with each other, couldn't collect a ground ball, and it led to a lot of opportunities for Darien, and we know how lethal they are in transition.
It was the best Yorktown looked, and this is a good Yorktown team. But I don't really feel like those goals did anything to swing momentum. Now, this possession, where you've gotten now 3 Yorktown shots, although this last one's being ruled a pass and a turnover.
That was a shot that was a shot. They will say Riley Stewart closest to it when it went out of play. So Darian earns possession. But John, 3 shots, none of them on goal.
No.
So that is the downside to that possession. But there was some movement and some opportunities for the Huskers, as back at it now is McGovern, and a shot from an almost zero angle finds the back of the net. How about that finish for goal number 4 today, for number 4.
We're just loving the behind-the-back stuff this afternoon, just tucking it inside the bar. Has to be incredibly frustrating for the Yorktown defense. I mean, how do you stop that? Because every time they've collapsed on that, on the play behind the net or on the play around the crease, Darien's fired in shots from out around the football 20-yard line, 25-yard line. So how do you adjust?
It is very, very tough. And Kevin, no disrespect to Jack Niffen, but If Logan McGovern keeps this pace up, that might be a name soon forgotten.
I don't think Jack Niffin's name can be forgotten, but certainly McGovern can make his own name for himself by donning that number 4. Again, playing outstanding. This has to do wonders for his confidence to start this year off with a great performance that he's putting on today, guys.
As Stroop won that draw just a little too cleanly, and waiting there for that one was McCarr. Pass to the front of the cage, trying to free himself up for a shot, but it sails wide, as it was Justin Cavallo who couldn't put that one on target.
Tried to bounce it in, and it kicked wide.
And they've had success on Cornell going down low. That's where the 2 goals have been scored, but credit the defense of the Wave, not allowing too many good looks here. Shots on goal has been a struggle all afternoon for Yorktown. Casey sends one back up top. Here's Keegan Dollar with it. Sophomore's pass handcuffed his teammate. No Huskers going to run it down before it trickles out of play. So the Wave take over again on the turnover.
And that's just, again, the Darien defense just not letting Yorktown do anything. It's going to be tough to really mount any kind of offense against this defense if they're going to be this stifling all season long. I mean, this team is, we were talking in intermission, this might be a better team than the team we saw go 24-0 last year.
As McGovern tried to swivel his man into the turf. Finally hands off to Stewart. Now it's Finley Collins who lets a shot go and just blows it by Ragusa. Collins' first goal of the season.
2 shots, 2 goals, Frank. That's efficiency.
Comes with 8:51 to play in the third. And it is a 10-2 Blue Wave lead.
Kevin, what's the atmosphere like down there on the field? I mean, you come out of, you score 2 in the second quarter if you're Yorktown, and then you come out of intermission and give 2 right back.
It's certainly quiet here on the Yorktown side. For Darian, they're still staying positive. They're clapping their hands, trying to get the guys motivated on the bench. Yorktown, too, they're trying to stay motivated, but it's hard. Darian playing so well on the offensive end. That goal really put a damper on their confidence level, but it's quiet so far, but expect to see Yorktown to try and keep the momentum on their side and try and pump some goals back and try and, decrease this deficit a little bit.
Kevin Lindley, who let that last shot go, saw it skip up off the stick of Ragusa and the crossbar before the Wave reset on this possession. Here's Joyce up top now. Almost turning into a shooting gallery at the moment as some rain starting to fall here at the stadium.
It just keeps getting more and more raw.
As a shot here off the post. McGovern closest to that one and will maintain possession. Spins around for safety and buys some time now. With 7:45 to play in the third, heading to the front of the net. Another shot, another goal. He's got his 5th of the afternoon.
McGovern once again.
And again, just cut in toward the crease. The only person between you and the goal is the goalie, and just tuck it inside the post.
Comes at the 4:17 mark, and it is 11-2 in favor of the Blue Wave.
Williams and Stroop.
Sun has completely been covered now, so temperatures continuing to drop as the wind picks up later and later into the day. Our first heavy dose of spring showers the past 2 days.
You call them showers?
Gale force winds last night, almost hurricane conditions when you looked around what the state was like. But clear enough today to start the lacrosse season.
I mean, I know there had to be trees down some places because I was talking to somebody who does that work that got called in.
The Wave's quest for the four-peat began right around 2 o'clock from the stadium, and it has been all Darien all afternoon.
Now they're moving it out the top.
As Minikis saw his shot ricochet off McGovern and trickle over the end line. The Wave will maintain possession. McGovern seems to be unfazed off that shot. As they control it along the outside. Quick passes here, spinning around towards safety now, heading to the front, and a shot falling towards the ground from Kevin Lindley, his first goal of the season. And the assist that time going to Mays.
Leapt a little bit and bounced that one in off the ground. A little Bobby Orr-ish. Yeah, I did. I went there.
It's over. Hockey's over, John. We're past it now. So a 10-goal lead with 6:41 to play in the third.
If you're basing it on temperature, hockey's not over, Frank.
And Kevin, it has just been an all-out attack now from the Blue Wave to start this second half.
And a great goal by Kevin Lindley. You know, the senior attackman, and you talk about all FCIAC, all state selection last year. You know, this is a guy who's going to Loyola next season. A great lacrosse program there. What a great player he is. This is just, again, you talk about losing very good seniors from last year. This is also a stellar senior class for the Blue Wave this season.
Really is, Kevin. It really just, I mean, how often can you lose a senior class that's as good as the Darien High class of 2016 as we get on the board again, the Blue Wave?
Beautiful bounce shot that time from Riley Stewart, his second of the afternoon. 13-2 the score, and a 5-0 run to start the third quarter.
Long bounce shot in there, Kevin. Yeah. How often can you lose a senior class that some would argue is the most successful athletic senior class in the history of the state of Connecticut? And you've replaced them with what might be a better group.
It just comes to show how good the youth program is here. The development of lacrosse in Darien. You know, when you have senior classes like these that continuously come in, just proves that there's going to be more down the road. So it just speaks volumes to what the youth coaches are doing, the programs at the youth level, all the way up through elementary school to middle school, and then to the high school level, the freshman team, the JV team, now varsity. It just speaks volumes to how well run these programs really are here in Darien, and also in New Canaan, Richfield, Wilton. All the great programs as well.
As a timeout taken by Yorktown after gaining possession off the draw, we will spend it as well. It is a 11-goal lead here in favor of the Wave on the HAN network.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back on the HAN network, 6:07 remaining in the third quarter, and it has been all Darien here in the second half. As almost a desperation timeout coming from Yorktown there, John, after gaining possession off that draw.
Yeah, it's an odd time for a timeout, but I think they wanted to keep Darien from getting a sixth quick coming out of intermission and just call the timeout to maintain possession.
And so the Huskers Work it all the way down towards the X position. Our Embury plays this one off to his right. And it's controlled by Viteri. Viteri scored the first goal of the game for the Huskers back in the second quarter. The second one was picked up just a minute later by number 25, Reese Andrews. And all that back in the first half. Since then, we've seen 5 Blue Wave goals, and this just the first possession for Yorktown this half. Falling down to his feet in an errant pass, controlled momentarily, and now a ground ball that goes in favor of Darian. Waiting eagerly for that one was Nick Green, another name we know from the football season back in the fall.
They just out-physical you when you try to mount an offensive threat.
A shot coming from McGovern, sails wide. Lindley trying to run down and wins the race. McGovern a little slow to get up in between a couple of Huskers.
You could almost argue that Darian is putting together a better offensive quarter than they did in the first quarter, which they ended with a 6-0 lead.
This game number 2 of a doubleheader today here at Darien High School, as Lindley draws not 1, 2, but 3, maybe even 4 defenders to come over, and finally Coach Braymeyer takes a timeout to save his senior. And it comes with 4:41 remaining. We'll take it as well and be right back with more high school lax after this on the HAN Network.
Part of banking well is doing good. That's why, with the support of local community partners, Bankwell has launched the Bankwell Pet Adoption Project to boost awareness about the hundreds of animals in local shelters that need a home. And when you donate to the cause using the Bankwell self-service coin machines, we'll match your donation. For details, visit mybankwell.com/pleaseadoptme. Bank smart, bank local, bank well.
Back on the HAN Network, it is 13-2 in favor of Darien over out-of-state rival Yorktown. The Wave have won 3 straight against the Huskers. They're 4-2 the past 6 seasons. And with an 11-goal lead, we'd like to go down to Kevin Coleman standing on the sidelines, who's got a rules update for us should the Blue Wave extend this lead one more time.
Frank and John, if Darian score another goal, it's going to be a continuous clock. The only time the clock will stop is if it's during a timeout or an injury. Back up to you guys.
And speaking of injuries, Kevin, just off to your left, Logan McGovern meeting with the training staff for Darien. He took a tough hit there before that last timeout.
And guys, yes, I'm going to go check on McGovern, but we've seen also players on Yorktown and Darien come back on and stretch their calves, tighten up. There's going to be muscles that are going to be tightened up. It's cold down here, so they're definitely going to have some cramping, but nothing too serious. Hopefully McGovern gets back out there.
As a flag comes flying out and the ball hits the turf, so a whistle blown and right on cue with the man advantage. McGovern, Riley Stewart, and Finley Collins will return to the field as the Wave look to strike once more.
Perfect day for cramps, Frank, because it's so cold you don't feel it. I'm not hot. I don't need that drink, and that's when you cramp up. You've got to hydrate on a day like today. And these are the days that the young athlete says, nah, I don't need to, and then they pay the price for it once you get to the second half.
Here is Collins on the left wing. The Wave with the man advantage. 4 minutes to play in the third and an 11-goal lead. Inside, Collins couldn't handle it, but he's able to control the ground ball before having it taken away. Good work there defensively for Yorktown by Brett McCarr. But it's poked aside and now taken right back.
Yeah, the penalties for 1 minute of slashing on number 1, Mary's.
Thanks, Kevin.
Here's Lindley up top. Over the wing. Mays lets a shot go that sails into the back net. McGovern, the closest player there. So the Wave maintain possession. Pass inside. Turnaround by Lindley. Beautiful finish. Better setup. And the lead is 12. comes with 3:25 remaining in the third. There's the second goal of the quarter and the game for Lindley.
Now, as Kevin said, we go to running clock. Now, does that go back to normal once the lead gets back to 11?
Under 12, it will go back to a normal clock.
So this will not be confusing at all for our director, Eric Gendron, in trying to run the play clock.
Again, as we mentioned, this is the opening game of the 2017 lacrosse season. It's also the HAN Network's opening game of the spring season. As the individual effort that time denied. A good job staying with it as the Huskers able to get back on possession. A broken stick down in front of the cage. One official looking to clean up the garbage had to retreat as the Huskers back onto attack. Embury controlling. He's canceled out, trying to shoot from his knees as he's washed out by a sea of white.
All 6 Darien defenders and middies around him, and now you've got a breakaway.
Coming up, Stewart, he lets a shot go that sails just right of the cage. Great job there by Finley Collins, making that little flip pass through traffic. That allowed Stewart freely upfield. As we were saying, though, a big spring season up ahead of us.
Really excited about a lot of the things we're going to do this spring, Frank.
We've got softball, baseball, boys and girls lacrosse, boys volleyball, some golf coming up on the network later in the spring. Tennis for both the boys and girls should be a lot of fun. Of course, all culminating with the road to Harbor Yard as the FCIAC championship in baseball will be that final broadcast of the FCIAC season.
Outdoor track too, Frank. That's another one. Can Danbury continue their run in outdoor track?
That is correct. They will try to hold off the challengers of Trumbull, Fairfield, Ward, Staples, all who finished very high up in that winter season, and of course back in cross country in the fall. As the Huskers trying to get back on the board, but a shot sails over the cage off target. A minute 20 to go in the third quarter. Yeah. 14-2, the Blue Wave leading Yorktown.
Good defense again, just keeping him out on the perimeter, dispossessing him.
All done by Embury to regain possession. That's Jamison with it this time.
Quinn Fay just not giving him room to breathe.
Coach Quinn Fay, another one of those Blue Wave football players on this roster. He was one of the defensive ends along with Finley Collins this season. As Cohen came up with the ground ball, spins away from trouble and finds Mays. He tried to force a pass inside, though. That was denied. And now a flag comes flying out. We'll see who it's on. And it's going to be against Yorktown. Heading for the sin bin is Brandon Mireles.
See what the call is behind the play. Kevin's right there.
Illegal body check, 1 minute.
And that minute will be served in the fourth quarter as time runs out on the third. All Blue Wave in that quarter. They put up 6 and stretch the lead to 12. It is a 14-2 advantage. Blue Wave over the Huskers. We'll have the fourth and final quarter after this
At the end of 3,
on
Darian
the HAN
up
Network.
14-2.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. Mr. Handyman CT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
Mr. Handyman CT.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Back from Darien Stadium on the campus of Darien High School. This is the HAN Network's spring season opener. All Darien in this one so far, John. They have a 14-2 lead over the Yorktown Huskers. Let's go down to field level for the fourth quarter and catch up with Kevin Coleman.
Darien up 14-2 coming into the fourth quarter, Frank and John. It's going to be a continuous clock. Darien is going to be down a man, sitting for 1 minute for a legal body check.
And just like that, it is 15-2. Brian Minikis strikes for the first time this afternoon. Younger brother of course, Colin Minikis, who graduated this past season. And with 11:40 to play in the fourth, the Wave right back at it.
And it's games like this are where you have a team that goes
Dan O'Mara now in
24-0
goal
and
for
returns
Yorktown.
an experienced
And the goal
core.
was by Brian
You
Minikis.
can get basically anybody varsity experience now, and they're going to be that much better going forward next year.
I'm trying to think of the right word for how impressive they have been to start this season, and I don't know that word exists.
Got to come up with one.
Dan O'Mara, the sophomore goaltender, has checked in now for the Huskers. He'll play out the final 12 minutes of this one, most likely. Again, as Kevin mentioned back in the third quarter, with the lead stretching to 12, we'll see a running clock now for the duration of this game, unless Yorktown is able to bring it back down to 11. This was game number 2 at Darien High School today. The girls played against Yorktown earlier this afternoon. It was an 11 a.m. face-off there. As Cornell just intercepts that pass, but a flag coming here now. Saw an unnecessary check by the crease. The girls also rolling in that one. They won 20-4 as they look to defend their FCIAC and state title as well.
So both Darien clubs just picking up where they left off.
Really no surprise. If there was one sport you could bank on Darien being able to reload in, it would be lacrosse. But of course the Wave, as we talked about that last senior class, how great they were, winning 6 of the major 11 championships last spring. So big shoes to fill entering this spring season for the Wave.
But they've created the community culture here where kids want to be part of this and they expect to be part of this.
As a pass inside is finished off of, great look to the middle coming from Casey, his second assist, and Shane Dahlke picks up his first goal and brings the lead back down to 12.
Nice long low shot.
It was a good job by Dahlke to find himself in the middle of that zone with the man advantage. The defense skips one step too far. Great look from Casey. And a standing ovation for Ryan Cornell. Sean Collins checks in to replace the senior who's gotten all the work he needs today. We expect to see a lot of the starters now exiting the field.
Exactly.
After a job well done.
You get your youth's experience, and then when you lose a senior class like last year's, hey, these guys know what it's like to be on a varsity field, and they're used to the speed, and they're used to the people in the stands and the PA system and all the other things, the tangentials that surround varsity sports. They're ready for it.
With 8 minutes remaining. Another opportunity here. Bounce shot on Cage, and it's in the back of the net.
Yorktown.
This one coming from Rich Gianasca with 8:03 to play. And that will stop the clock.
And what Yorktown has done the past 2 shots is when they were open, they took a long bounce shot in or a long airborne shot in, just taking the long shot when the opportunity presented itself. They really haven't had that chance, and I think you're seeing changes on the defense that have allowed a little bit more of that to open up.
Out there taking a base off of
Kevin, by no means do we think the Blue Wave are in jeopardy of surrendering another 11 goals in the next 8 minutes, but I doubt Coach Jeff Braymeyer is too excited with the start from the second defensive unit here in the fourth.
He is, and John said it really well that, to give these underclassmen a shot, the sophomores, and juniors who don't get much playing time as it is, get them in the game against a team like Yorktown who has some really gifted players. Get them into this environment, get them ready just in case, something happens, or get them ready for next year when it's their turn to really take over this team.
So with 7:30 to go, thank you, Kevin. The Wave lead is 11. Back inside, and a shot here.
Did that go through?
Wide left,
post?
I thought.
I wasn't sure if that went through or not. I was looking for the signal there.
Oh, that went through, fellas.
It did? All
3
right.
points.
3 points that Yorktown could use. That one just gets stuck in the stick and scoops right up well over the net.
4 on the right.
That's a great check there by Nick Green. Leads to a ground ball opportunity, and the Wave come away with the turnover. And sent to the net mouth where Sean Collins now sets up the breakout. Pass short hop Joyce, but he did a good job to recontrol that one. Works across the middle of the field through the Darien D. Now enters into the box. And the Wave are good to go. 6:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Darien 15 and Yorktown 4. Shot coming here, and it skips to the left of the cage wide. Darien will maintain possession. That one by Jack Joyce, the junior.
I mean, you have to, if you're an FCIAC team that wondered, you knew where Darien was in the preseason polls, and they might be even better. So that one just misses.
Race for the loose ball, and the Wave able to maintain possession again, but a great look, just missed, as you said.
Just past the midway point of this fourth quarter. Another wraparound. The wraparound's been the shot du jour, Frank.
They've had opportunities at both the left and right post. Defenders have lost men who've worked from behind the net at that X position, and they've been able to beat them with a dodge to get into those positions. And you're right, it's a tough angle shot, but the goaltenders just have not held on to that post quite tight enough today.
No, and the defense hasn't matched up and locked onto the attack with the ball as well as they need to. If you can keep him out on the perimeter, you can limit that.
Back up high, it's Joyce. Thought about shooting for a moment, but had it taken away, and McCarr comes away with the ground ball. Back out in front, and here's O'Mara, all the way across to the opposite side. And quickly upfield, where Michael Broder has it. Dropped it for a moment, recollects, and now spins to safety as they work back towards the back of the net. But a pass cannot be completed, as unable to climb the ladder for that one was Thomas Kane.
Just off the edge of his stick.
Correction, that was Tyler Cunnington who missed that last pass. 4:30 to go. Wave on top. Ryan Quinn takes the pass from Blake Sami. Wraparound attempt again, and this one just missed as well. As Picorni made himself available towards the front of the net, but just put it over the crossbar. Here's Peter Hartigan. Passes one off. Oh, good look in front, but it handcuffed Picorne. And Aaron pass goes out of bounds, turned back over.
He was right there. If he had completed the pass, he's probably scoring.
Under 4 to play, and the long shot there, kicked aside. First save of the afternoon from Sean Collins, and that one is into the parking lot as well.
Over to Snack Shack. I think it's headed to the
Heads
baseball
up at the
field.
concession stand.
And that baseball field, of course, home of the defending FCIAC champions as well. Darien winning for the first time in over 30 years last season. They'll look to begin their title defense later this week, and a great hustle play there from the sophomore Reese Andrews to keep that ball alive. They come back to Andrews now. He goes to the slot out in front. And denying that opportunity as Dollar couldn't get to the front of the cage. 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Good effort here by Yorktown. They've turned on the Jets a little bit, trying a few different things.
Dollar without a shoe, couldn't get the shot off, and now flags come flying in from all over as a penalty to come against the Blue Wave. Kevin, you were with us at Harbor Yard last spring for some of the baseball championships. Is Darien the team to beat this season?
Certainly they are. I think Staples is another team that could be there. How about Danbury? I was so impressed with them last season. Can they, make that run? We can't forget that game that they beat Staples to get into the playoffs last year. Danbury's a team to look out for. I think Ridgefield has a little bit of an edge. If you talk to Tim Murphy a little bit before today, he thinks Ridgefield has certainly a good chance. Listen, it's wide open, but certainly Darien is a team to beat.
You have a team that jumps out at you for the FCIAC baseball season?
Staples.
I you know what? One team I was surprised Kevin didn't say. I'm going to go with the Trumbull Eagles. They were the runner-up last season. They bring back a lot, and I think that is a determined and motivated team when you look at the way they lost in extra innings last year.
True. I can't argue with that.
As Yorktown with the man advantage, trying to get something going here, but a push illegally against the Wave negates a turnover, and the Huskers maintain possession.
But Staples has the pitching, and you can ride a hot pitcher pretty far in high school baseball. We've seen teams do it.
Of course, Darien did that last season with Brereton. Had a phenomenal performance down the stretch of the regular season and into the FCIAC tournament, and was spectacular for the Wave in that championship game.
Just under 2 minutes to go.
As a nice effort here. No, it's going to be negated. Falling into the crease that time was Embury, so the goal will not count.
No goal.
As with it here is Tommy Murphy, the junior defender. Over to Nick Green as the second unit defense did a good job there against the man advantage.
Very well. A few shots in there, but they limited them to really shots that didn't threaten at all until that last one that was waved off. We got another flag here.
An offside penalty against Yorktown
Offside.
with 1:23 to go. And it's just business as usual, John, to start the season for the Wave. They're going to roll to what looks to be a double-digit win. And as impressive as those 15 goals were, as great as Logan McGovern was, it's got to be the defensive effort today that gets noticed.
I'm surprised they gave up 4, to be honest with you, because that defense was just impenetrable.
Gave up 4, only 3 of them coming against Cornell, who exited the game after that third goal, just 2:45 into the fourth quarter. Logan McGovern with 5 goals on the afternoon. Mays with a big day as well. Riley Stewart, almost 5 assists. Very few faults you could find in the performance of the Blue Wave today with 50 seconds to play.
The man advantage is over.
And loose ball here. Pushed down to the turf that time by Williams, and he comes away with the ground ball now with 40 seconds to play as he crosses midfield. Yorktown's going to fall to 1-1 on the season. The Blue Wave 1-0. Again, make sure you follow along the HAN Network Snapchat, our Twitter feed. Check us out at HAN.network and our Facebook page as well. We will have all of last week's and this upcoming week's FCIAC Tour stops for you available. Just the click of a button, as we'll see 12 more seconds to run off here before the end of this one. Kevin will be joined shortly with our player of the game, as this will be the final turnover here. Final score is going to be Darien 15 and Yorktown 4. The Blue Wave stretch the streak to 32.
Yorktown 4.
With the 11-goal win. We'll step aside quickly. When we get back, we'll have our final thoughts on this one on the HAN Network.
In training.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Sign up now to learn from the Box Lacrosse pros at In Sports of Trumbull. April 10th through 13th, join Black Wolves captain and 2-time NLL MVP Sean Evans to learn the ins and outs of box lacrosse. Sessions run from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Each camper receives a Black Wolves hat, t-shirt, and a ticket to a game. To register, visit blackwolves.com and click on Camps. In Sports of Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving spring, find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
Game, who joins our own Kevin Coleman. Kevin.
Thank you, Frank, here with Logan McGovern. First off, what a great performance just to start the year off.
Thank you very much. I credit my teammates. A lot of help out there.
Now, you guys lost a lot of seniors after that great season you guys had last year, state champions, FCIAC champions. What was the mood like coming into this season, knowing you had a brand new senior class coming in?
I mean, it was definitely, we wanted to prove ourselves. We got a lot to prove, a lot to live up to from last year, but we set the same expectations every year, and we just looked to fulfill them.
Now, take us through that outstanding goal you had behind the back. Walk us through that play.
I mean, I just got to thank my teammates for giving me the space to dodge, and I just lucky it went in.
How about Ryan Cornell? I mean, he's a 3-year starter goalie. Talk about him as a teammate, for you guys as a Blue Wave.
Ryan's the quarterback for the whole team, not just the defense, but the offense too. He runs the team, and we just got to thank him. It all starts with him in the goal.
All right, Logan, enjoy this win, all right? We'll look forward to seeing you guys the rest of the season, all right?
Thank you very much.
All right, Frank, John, back to you guys.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you to Logan McGovern. 5 of Darien's 15 goals coming from McGovern this afternoon. Business as usual for the Wave, John. No other way to put it.
He said they wanted to prove themselves with that senior class moving on, and boy, they did right off the bat, and with an exclamation point. I mean, if you had any questions, and there had to be a few, but not many, but they were all answered today.
And it's really, it's exactly it. There are some questions, there are concerns. How long will it take this group to come into their own? Took them about 9 seconds.
Yeah.
They scored their first goal of the season just 19 seconds in. They would roll on for 15 more and holding Yorktown to 4, win their opening game by 11. Number 3 moves to 1-0, and we will see them again shortly. John, we're back on the road with the HAN Network Spring Sports Tour this week. We'll be at Wilton and Staples on Monday. We've got girls lacrosse and softball later in the week. And as always, on your home of high school sports, the HAN Network. For Kevin Coleman, John Kovac, I'm Frank Renito. We thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the home of FCIAC Sports.